Nice putt, coach.
Great putt, thank you.
Right, top 5 putting practice drills. Dan and coach Mark Crossfield on camera here in the house. We're at Yaz Links. What better place to practice your putting?
Beautiful green, sunshine, beautiful greens, no excuses.
So I want you to show me your best tips that you use to practice putting when you used to practice putting. And Dan, I presume you still do practice your putting?
No, I don't practice my putting a lot anymore, to be honest.
Okay, so maybe you should practice it a bit more.
Maybe I should.
Yeah.
This video was filmed at Yaz Links in Abu Dhabi. Thank you to Your Golf Travel. Now, if you want to go to Abu Dhabi and play golf with a friend, all you got to do, enter a competition that I'm running in my description down below. Hit that link, enter that competition, and you need to be a subscriber of this channel, and you and a friend could be playing at an amazing venue like Yaz Links. These are our best putting tips. I can only apologise for the last one. It's a great tip. There's just more than you need to see. I'm sorry. What's your first one, coach? Talk to me.
So I used to do like a cross shape with loads of tees. I've set it up here for you.
Yeah.
3 tees on each stage. As many balls as you want. You got a hole. I used to do 3 from each tee. And if I missed, start again. So
okay.
It was 3, 6, 9, 18, 20, 36 putts in a row without missing.
So how long would this, you would like be out here for an hour or so doing it?
Sometimes my putter was launched and everything.
Was it?
Yeah, angry stuff.
So what's the benefits of doing it this way?
The way I looked at it was, if I was confident from 6 foot and in and my percentage was high, then my longer putts didn't have to be as good and my chipping didn't have to be as good.
Yeah, I like that.
So I was always keen on this area, and my long putting was good anyway, my chipping's good anyway, so crack down on this area, hold more putts and get your scores lower.
And you do this with students as well?
Yeah, it depends on what areas they're struggling with, but this is definitely one drill that I would use for students, yeah.
So I guess as well with this, you're practicing from every break, aren't you?
Every break, yeah, uphill, downhill, cross, so you're getting a mixture of everything. And it's got a bit of pressure to it as well.
Yeah, the pressure I do like.
Because once you get to your last station, and you know you've missed it already before, because you've probably been here for 30, 40 minutes and stuff.
Yeah.
It starts to get to you a little bit.
Fantastic.
And that's when putters were launched, when you miss on your last stage.
And I guess you'd look for patterns, left to right to left, as over braking, under braking. It's about learning from the drill. For me, I think sometimes people think the drill is it. You know what I mean? It's what you pull from the drill is the skill, is it not?
Yeah, because I can always remember, even thinking about me now when I was a junior, left to right, it was like literally the one I always started on because I wanted to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
It was the one that I struggled with the most. And I make sure that I always put a really tough one in there. And downhill, left to right was the one for me.
So for me, I would do this for hours. I love this drill because I think it does lag putt, long putt, and then your short ones, and it tests you. So I'm going to go from one corner of the putting green to the other, one ball, literally walking after it, not two. I want it to feel like each one feels like a hole. It's the first. So I'm thinking, if you think about my game, I have a lot of long putts. If I'm not good at long putting, I'm going to struggle. Not the longest hitter in the world, playing big courses in what was big events. You know, I needed to be good at lag putting. I needed to make gains on other people. So practicing this long putt, one at a go, seeing how many times can I go back and forwards. That is not high enough again. So I've now got another 7-footer, 6-footer to try and keep go to my second hole. I'd try and play 18 holes, so do it 18 times, all 2 putts, and try and sneak the odd one when I was getting really practiced. So this is my second hole. I want to go on to the third, but I have to hole it. If I don't, I'm now back to the first. So this is why I would do this for hours. It's very hard to 2-putt from this length 18 times in a row, but I used to get very good at this by just doing it over and over and over again. And then if I was on a club where I would have the same break each time, if there was different corners of the putting green, I would try and mix it up a bit so I'm not learning the breaks like off by heart, otherwise it becomes too, like you're not thinking enough basically. Long putting, then you always will get, like, you don't stiff many of them. You're always going to have a second putt generally in the 18 holes, so you're getting that long one and that short one. and in succession. It's so real. That's what's going to happen on the course, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
hitting
yeah.
like your one I love, but you're doing lots of putts in a row.
Yep.
It makes it a little bit more false. It's that kind of heightened game that you're playing. This one to me just felt like I was literally playing golf without
On the course,
walking
yeah.
to the holes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, first tee behind us here. Yaz links down. We're just about to play.
Yep.
You're going to bring 3 balls on, 10 balls on, 1 ball. How do you start your putting practice?
So I focus on one ball. So I'm trying to almost simulate what I'm going to be doing out there on the putting green before I get going. So yeah, 1 ball on the green. The other thing that I really want to focus on is using the same routine as what I would do on the golf course.
Okay.
So I see a lot of players coming out onto the putting green and just having sort of one hit, move on, have another go with 1 stroke, not doing any practice putting strokes. And as soon as they then get out onto the golf course, they're then the first putt they hit, they've had 1 or 2 practice putting strokes before they then hit the shot. I want to try and keep the same routine what I'm doing here as I want to get on the golf course. So if I'm a player that sort of just sets up and hits the ball, I don't want to then be doing 3 or 4 practice strokes on here if I'm not doing that on the golf course, and vice versa. So focus on a routine. If it's just going to be 1 practice putting stroke, then just keep to that routine and then hit the putt, and then I'm just going to focus on taking that to the golf course when I'm playing my round of golf.
Would you tap that one in?
Because that missed.
If I was doing to do my proper full routine before I go out and play, I will work from hole to hole to hole round the putting green, and then just before I come and tee off, I'll do similar to what Matt was doing in his routine. I would look at going around the hole, just tapping a few in for a little bit of confidence boosting, and then I'd move on to the first tee.
What's your next one, Matthew?
So I used to really enjoy this with like my mates at the golf club.
Okay.
2 holes, 1 standing by each hole, and it's like first to 5 under, first to 10 under, so who can hold the most putts.
So everything's the par 2?
Everything's par 2, yeah.
Do you putt at the same time? Or do you go, he goes?
Yeah, it doesn't matter really, like you're going to get his ball, so once it's here, you hit basically.
Well, you say it doesn't matter, Matt, as in, if you putt first and he putt second, now if you were to hole it, does he get another go?
No.
So I just get
So we're level now, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're all square.
But let's say you were both 4 under, and you then putt,
Oh,
you've
so
won, because you're first.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
See, I wasn't your mate, you see, because I would have picked you up.
That's why
on
you
that.
didn't have mates, actually. But I used to really enjoy this because it gets the competitiveness between you and your pals and everything. And
yeah, I like this one.
it gets you thinking about, and if it was like 10 under, 5 under, first one to 5 under, swap round, so you get 2 different putts as well.
Perfect, like this one. It's the interaction with someone actually adds a real element that you will get on the golf course as well, which is trying to beat your buddies. Oh, Dan's owed it. Oh, no.
Winner.
God. Oh no, I'll be your mate, Matt. I'm not putting very well.
Okay.
Right, last tip. Matt's asked me to come to his room. Let's see what he's got for us.
Quite a close one, that one.
All right.
Yeah, what we got? Last tip.
Always practice.
Yeah.
Whether you're at home, at work trips, and
Wherever you can.
personally,
Yeah.
I think that these are one of the best
Oh, damn.
drills, putting aids that you can buy.
So what are we doing?
So I've just got this little setup here.
Yeah.
Put out down here my putting mirror. I'm working on a bit of setup. I'm
Yeah.
working on a bit of face control and path. So I know that my path is always, or I always toe my putts.
Right.
Shock.
Yeah.
So I always leave this one in, so I try and move my path to the right more.
Show me that again. Which one? Okay, so you leave the inside
Because
one.
I always clip it when I go this way.
Yeah.
So I always try and miss that one and centre strike it more.
Yeah.
And then repeat. Oh, I haven't.
Almost a perfect putt. And I like this because I'm a big fan of people always having a putter in their office, in their,
Just have one in your hand all the
in a
time.
room where they know they get a bit of free time, in the kitchen, that kind of thing. You comfy there, Dan?
Hotel room.
Yeah.
And then obviously if you do have the chance, like you bring this on every trip, don't you?
I do.
Because we don't really get a chance to warm up much when we get out there, so you probably have a few putts wherever you
always
can.
putt every night. in my pants.
Yeah.
Problem with that?
I did want to know. I did wonder why
These are lucky ones, by the way. These.
we needed. It is warm, but there you go. Well, that's really good tips. Thank you.
Thank you.
They should post comments somewhere, shouldn't they?
Down there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then what should they do to any buttons?
Click them, subscribe, ring the bells,
Share.
share.
Share with other people who like to putt in their pants.
Do you want to go?
Oh, quick, go.
I thought Dan was just here to watch.
Matt's told me that the way to do this is get in your pants. Because you're a bit, it's luckier.
You need to work on your path.
That was pretty poor.
Bit
but
more
yeah,
work needed.
I need a bit of work on that as well. But yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm
It's a
going
great
back to
little
my
tip, that.
room. Thank you.